What can we expect from Van Jefferson in year 3? We're about to get into that. All right, so welcome in, folks. I'm Jake Ellenbogen, and today we'll be talking about Van Jefferson and my projections for his 2022 incoming season. Before we get into that, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoy this video and channel, but let's dive into it. So Van Jefferson is somebody that is coming off a Super Bowl win, and on top of that, he had a pretty decent second season. After only having 220 yards and a touchdown in his rookie season, Van Jefferson went over 800 yards last year and added 6 touchdowns and was in the top 7 of yards per catch. He was incredibly efficient when needed to be deep down the field, and he provided a field stretching option for Matthew Stafford throughout the season. Van Jefferson, it's worth mentioning, however, did play with an injury down the stretch, pretty much half the season, half the back end of the season. We did see the issues of that come playoff time, as his play did somewhat falter down the stretch, but make no mistake about it, Van Jefferson's been around a lot of talent. You talk about Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, OBJ last year, and he's learned a lot. He's played for Jared Goff, and he's played for Matthew Stafford. Well, now he's getting an opportunity with the same quarterback for the first time in his career. He's going to have Matthew Stafford again for his third season and his second season with Stafford. So I have him going over 800 yards again. And the reason that I don't have him going over 1,000, which honestly I was very close to doing, is simply because I believe Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be back with the LA Rams. I believe he's going to come back towards the end of November. And I think because of that, he's going to be utilized enough to kind of hamper Van Jefferson's ascent to 1,000 yards. However, this is a very good year for Van. I have him at 54 catches for 819 yards and 7 touchdowns, pretty much doing the same thing he did last year with the yards per catch. He had 50 catches last year for 802 and 6 touchdowns. So I think more consistency. Obviously, you have guys like Cooper Kupp, who's coming off a triple crown. You have Allen Robinson, who I think is going to lead the league in receiving. So I think a lot of that comes into play. As I mentioned, Odell Beckham Jr., Tyler Higbee, you have the running backs being used out of the backfield, Tutu Atwell. So there's a lot of mouths to feed here for Matthew Stafford. And because of that, I do think that Van is going to somewhat take a back seat. Not enough to say that he's fully taken one, but I do think that he is going to be the third guy. I don't think he's going to emerge as the number 1 guy, obviously, because of Kupp, and I don't think he's going to emerge as the number 2 guy because I think Allen Robinson is going to be heavily utilized. However, that is not to say this guy isn't important, and he's definitely important long term. When I look at the potential of Van Jefferson, I look at a guy that's very similar to Kupp and Robert Woods, and I think he's going to get the long-term deal when it's all said and done. I think they definitely want to build around him in the receiver room long-term, so make no mistake about it, even if he doesn't go over 1,000 yards his first 3 seasons like I'm projecting, Van Jefferson has a role. Van Jefferson is one of these receivers where if he was in a different scenario, he was in a different situation, he'd be around 1,300 yards, I believe. So I think he definitely is going to have production this year. Make no mistake about it, 54 catches, 819 yards, and 7 touchdowns. I think the Rams would take that. I think he'll take that, considering who is around him. But at the end of the day, the Rams don't really care too much about stats. It's all about winning. And I think Van Jefferson is going to play a pivotal role in doing so. He's still going to be that field stretcher. He's still going to be a problem over the top. But now you combine his speed over the top and the big playability going up and high pointing the football that Allen Robinson produces, and all of a sudden it opens up the door for a guy like Cooper Kupp to maybe not be double teamed. It opens up a door for the pass catchers out of the backfield. You talk about Darrell Henderson and Cam Akers. It opens up the door for a seam buster, maybe to Tyler Higbee or Kendall Blanton or Bryson Hopkins or even Jacob Harris. It opens up the door for Tutu Atwell, who could also stretch the field. So there's a lot of things here. He is very important. He's a catalyst to a lot of things that the Rams are going to try to do. He's a very good blocker. He can help you as well in the rushing attack because of his ability to take handoffs from the end around spot. In that type of role, we've seen him. He's taken reverses and he's taken them for first downs. He can get about 10 yards per pop, 10 yards a pop on that. So, this is somebody that, make no mistake about it, will have a serious role this year and should not be judged if he doesn't go over 1,000 yards. So again, I think Van Jefferson's going to have a very good year. I don't think he's going to be number 1 or number 2 on the Rams wide receiver room, but I do think that number 3, with what I believe could be the best offense in football, is definitely something worth talking about. But that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. I want to hear from you, though, in the comments section. Let me know, where do you have Van Jefferson falling in line? Do you think he's going to do better than what I have? Worse? The same? I want to hear from you. So drop your comment below. That's going to do it for me. You guys take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Later.